Typing into a text box on your form is the most common way to enter data, but it's also the way with the least control over what gets entered. I'm going to open up the training department form that we've been working on, and you'll notice that all of these fields, the name, the building, department, phone number, and salary fields, are all text boxes. We can essentially type whatever we want here as long as they are allowed by the table's underlying design. Notice that the status field is a combo box though. It has a drop-down list attached to it. That's because we've previously defined that field in the table as a lookup field. We can get the same effect for other fields here on our form without going all the way back and editing our table. I'm going to switch into Design View by clicking on the bottom half of the View button and choosing Design View. I'm going to click on this building field here. And if I right-click, you'll get a pop-up menu, and the top option here says Change To. We can change this text box to a label, a list box, or I'm going to choose Combo Box. When I change it to a combo box, we see the drop-down arrow here. Let's go back into Form View and see how this looks. I'll switch my view, and we'll see that we have the functionality here, but there's nothing actually here to choose from. So let's go back into Design View and we'll fix that up. Once again, I'll change my view, and I'll open up the property sheet for the combo box. I'm going to make sure that it says Building here. This is the combo box. On the Data tab, on the control source, it's currently set to Building. This is where the data is getting saved to in my table. The line below says Row Source. This is where the fields that are going to populate the list will come from. I'm going to click here and click on the Build button on the far right to build a query that'll generate that list. When I click Build, we get put into a new Query Design Editing environment. You can see on the tab up here that it says Training Department Employees Query Builder. This is a query that's actually embedded inside of the form we were working on. It won't show up in our navigation pane. Here, we can pull out the Show Table window and choose which tables we want to include. I'm going to pull in the Employees table and say Close. Then I'm going to add the Building field. We can look at the data sheet to see how this looks, and this is not quite the way I want my drop-down list to look. So go back into Design View, and I'll turn on this Totals here, which will group all of the same values together into a single entry. Once again, let's review the data sheet, and this list is looking much better for my dropdown. So I'll switch into Design View. I'll close the query. That'll ask me if I want to save the changes to it, and I will say yes. That'll take us back to Design View for our form. Notice that the row source is now populated with this select statement. That's the SQL code for the query we just built. Now let's go into Form View and look at how it works. I'll switch my view, go back to the Building field here, and use this drop-down list. Now I can make a selection of all of the buildings that are present in my employees table. This list is being dynamically generated from all of the values that appear in our employees table. If a new building is added to the employees table, that option will automatically appear in our combo box as well. By converting this text field into a combo box, we can dramatically reduce the chances of somebody mistyping the name of a building or adding a building that doesn't even exist. By leveraging these types of controls, you can have Access help eliminate the potential human errors that can destroy your database's integrity.